Welcome to the Positive Growth Doctor podcast for women. I'm your host, Dr. Christina Wilson. I created the Positive Growth Doctor after years of dealing with societal expectations, self-doubt, and perfectionism. I leveraged my 30 years of experience as a positive psychologist to address limiting beliefs and gain clarity to build confidence and navigate obstacles to achieve a healthier well-being. I knew that pain all too well, so I empower women to achieve confidence and live a positive-centered life. Subscribe to the podcast and check out the earlier episodes so you don't miss a thing. And let's get to it. Welcome to the Positive Growth Doctor podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Christina Wilson. All research starts with the question that needs to be answered, and also shows that there's enough evidence that it's meaningful to answer that particular question, to learn more about a topic to help other people. And when I was choosing my topic for my dissertation many years ago, I kept coming back to the same question over and over. And actually, probably because it was a burning question that I had for years. And I suspect it's one that you've had as well. Definitely girl. Maybe some guys are probably wondering and scratching their head. But why are adolescent females so mean to each other? Right? Now, this was a hard one to get past the IRB board. So when you start research projects, you have to go through and they have to make sure, we ensure safety of the participants. And, that includes emotional safety as well. And there would have to be a lot of things put in place for that. And it would take a very long time, probably years, for the research project. So I opted to switch gears and just hold on to that one for another research project. And focus on locus of control and how optimism play a role in subjective well-being or happiness. And that was a little less sticky with the IRB board. So, for girls, it's different than it is for boys because boys, they get mad at each other or frustrated. And next thing you know, they can be fighting it out, right? They might fight it out, get in, dust each other off, and be like, all right, let's go play basketball. Or, they're just so different in the way that they view the world and in so many different ways. Okay, no, not girl. Girls are sly and sometimes catty, and they find ways to stick it to each other in ways that you don't even see it coming, right? And sometimes they fight till the bitter end. They're not letting it go. It could go on for weeks. It could go on for years. Not boys, usually. Now, many times, thankfully, girls, they mature into women. They grow into adulthood. Now, that's not always the case. And sometimes they even further develop these mean girl skills, right? You know what I'm talking about. It's sadly, with all the manipulation that goes, the women on the receiving end tend to guess themselves in cause, admit to their confidence. Now, I do want to know, mean girls tend to have something within them going on or in need that was never met. And maybe they were hurt in some way. But that doesn't make it okay. And that is actually a whole other episode. So I just wanted to, to make note of the hurt that they're dealing with and that's why they're acting. But in this episode, explore the importance of setting boundaries with difficult people. It's surrounding yourself with positively growing your tribe that has your best interest in mind. So find the full transcript for this episode on your favorite podcast and share the podcast with other women to help them grow on their journey as well. And don't just invite friends, extend your reach to your women that are out there by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. I appreciate you. So we live in a society right now. It's interesting because it's divided by different beliefs and opinions. Especially in the last few years, it seems to be firing up more and more and getting worse. And this disrupts our peace if we let. Some people really struggle to hear the message from others when it's different from their own. It almost feels like the art of listening and respecting others' different beliefs and opinion is getting more and more lost, which really sad. Now, this is hard because we were not meant to be alone on this life. We just weren't. And we are better together. That doesn't mean that you have to become this extrovert. Like if you're an introvert, you have to be super extroverted and enjoy being around large groups of people every minute of the day. Doesn't mean that at all. It also doesn't mean that allow yourself to be bullied by others just because of jealousy or differing opinions. But interacting with others is necessary in this life. And women often have past hurt from other women. When this happens in our inner circle, it is much more than, voting differently or differing beliefs. It entails deeper hurt resulting from jealousy or our sinful nature as human beings. But don't get me wrong, we all have this, all of us, every single one of us, because we are not perfect because of our sinful nature. But I'm referring to the people who consistently treat others poorly. Okay? And it might even be a boss who's a really bad leader. Sadly, women are isolating as a result. And when they are under bad leadership or negative relationships in general with other women, they second guess their own value and adopt doubt and comparison. And this is harmful for women because God did not intend that for us. In fact, going back to Genesis 1:27, women were created in the image of God and with inherent worth and dignity. And in Proverbs 31, it says that women excel wisdom and strength. Women they have an important place in this world. Now, setting boundaries with others is really important. It's an important way to maintain your self-worth and dignity. So, what do you do when you're met with bullying and discouraging women? Well, I'm going to give you some of these to consider that are going to help you tighten this and set those boundaries. One is that the boundaries must be clear. And be honest and direct so that your message isn't wrong. Use I statements because the use statements tend to make others, it infers blame. It's not even it's about your expectation more so than their boorish behavior. So an example might be, I feel uncomfortable. Speak to me in that tone. Okay? The second is to stay calm. Oh, This could be a third one, right? When you escalate, they escalate. And that might mean you need to compose yourself first and set a boundary. Give yourself a moment, okay? The third is to be specific, and clearly outlining your expectations is important. So, for example, you might see something like, if this behavior continues, I will need to distance myself from our interaction. Okay? So you be very specific on what will happen in this way, right? And the fourth is being consistent is key. Consistently maintaining that boundary every time rather than letting it stretch. And number 5 is to be solution focused. And when possible, encourage constructive conversation. There are people that it's nearly impossible to do with, but when try to make it about being solution focused, listening to one another, problem solve, right? For those who are able and willing to do. And number 6, you might seek support when needed. You don't have to be alone in it. And trust me, there are other people that go through similar things. A lot of people. Number 7, and this is the last one, prioritize your mental health. It's so important. It's a whole idea behind setting boundaries. It is a form of care. And this means that you might have to limit your exposure to that person if you're able to. And that could be hard. Okay. I hope this helped. And I'm excited to meet up again next week for another episode. Let's stay.
Thanks for listening to the Positive Growth Doctor podcast. Be sure to leave a review and tell other women about the podcast. Let's support one another. Find the full transcript for this episode on your favorite podcast app. Watch the podcast on the Positive Growth Doctor YouTube channel and learn more at thepositivegrowthdoctor.com. And be assured, you are not alone on your journey